Hi class, good day. Welcome to another topic for discussion in basic accounting. Today's topic is all about accounting cycle. Step 2, prepare journal entries. Game. In this step, we record accountable events in chronological order in the general journal. Lahat ng accountable events nire-record natin sa libro ng business. At lahat ng yun ay ire-record una sa general journal. Meron kasing dalawang general books ang isang entity or business. First is what we call general journal or known as books of original entry. And second is general ledger or also known as books of final entry. Ang general journal ay tinawag na books of original entry kasi nga, tulad ng sinabi ko, lahat ng accountable events ay dito muna dadaan o ire-record. At ang general ledger naman, kaya tinawag na books of final entry dahil yung mga na-record mo sa general journal ay itatransfer naman sa general ledger, kung saan ginugrupo natin yung mga magkakaparehong accountable transaction or accountable events. Ito na yung huling papasukang libro ng mga accountable transactions. Kasi after this recording phase, yung mga na-record natin ay dadaan na sa summarizing phase. Nandiyan na nga yung trial balance, adjusting entries, preparation of FS or financial statements, preparing closing, and reversing entries. Ngayon, balik tayo sa topic. Prepare journal entries. How to journalize or make a journal entry for accountable transaction. A journal entry is composed of number 1, date, number 2, account and amount to be debited, number 3, account and amount to be credited, and number 4, brief explanation of the transaction, and number 5, post reference or also known as folio. And these are samples of journal entries recorded in a general journal. So kung mapapansin nyo, may column for date, nandyan yung date ng mga accountable transactions, column for particulars, nandito naman yung account or account title na dinebit, and yung respective amount niyan na dinebit under the debit column. Under ulit sa column ng particulars, may account or account title na credit, and yung respective amount niyan na credit under the credit column. And then, may brief explanation ng transaction under ulit sa column ng particulars. At ito, PR or yung PR column o yung sinabi natin kanina, post reference or folio column. Wala pang nakalagay kung mapapansin nyo kasi nilalagyan lang yan once na ang isang journal entry ay na-post na o na-transfer na sa respective ledger accounts nito. I-discuss natin yan sa susunod na topic natin under Accounting Cycle Step 3, Posting. Now, kunin natin tong example. Ito ay isang journal entry. May date ng transaction which is July 8. May account and amount na na-debit which is debit furnitures account amounting to 12,000 pesos. At may account and amount na na-credit which is credit cash account amounting to 12,000 pesos also. Then we have brief explanation that says to record purchase of furnitures in cash. Then again, yung PR or folio column wala pa for the meantime na nakalagay. Since itong journal entry na to, di pa posted sa ledger books natin. Now ang tanong, paano nagiging ganyan ang entry? Do you remember class our discussion with debit and credit framework? Sabi natin, debit is what you receive and credit is what you give. Tama? So ano ba yung transaction natin? Based on the brief explanation, nagkaroon daw ng purchase of furnitures in cash. So bumili ang business ng furniture, which is an asset account. At binayaran ito ng cash, which is an asset account also. Ano ang na-receive ng business? Tama, furniture. Kaya siya ang nakadebit. At ano ang binigay ng business? Tama, cash. Kaya siya ang naka-credit. Both amounting to 12,000. Siyempre, dapat na-maintain pa rin yung equilibrium ng accounting equation Kumbaga, balance pa rin palagi yan. And of course, it will start from our recording in the journal na dapat balance rin. Now, mahirap o matatagalan ka kung palagi mong iisipin bago ka mag-journal entry kung ano ang na-receive mo at ano ang nag-give up mo, para malaman mo lang kung ano ang ide-debit or i-credit. It is much easier if you know the normal balances of the accounts. At based na rin sa previous discussion natin sa debit and credit framework, again, ang normal balance of account ay yung side, whether debit or credit side, na kung saan tumataas ang isang account. Normal balances ng assets at expenses ay debit, samantalang normal balances naman ng liability, equity o yung capital, at revenues ay credit. Sa example natin, nag-purchase ang business ng furnitures at binayaran. Bakit nag-debit ng furnitures? By the way, ang furnitures ay isang asset account at ang normal balance ng isang asset ay debit, na kung saan pag sinabi nating normal balance ay ito yung side na nagpapataas sa isang account. Ang tanong, tumaas ba ang asset? Yes. Kasi nga, bumili si business ng furnitures. That's why naka-debit siya. Kung ang asset ay tumataas pag naka-debit, ano naman ang magpapababa dito? Tama. Bababa ang asset kapag ito naman ay naka-credit. So, sa kabaligtaran lang. Sa transaction, binayaran. Tama. At kung binayaran, nabawasan ng cash ang business. At ang cash ay isang asset account. Para masabing nabawasan ang cash, dapat naka-credit. So that's the logic behind of that class. Now, to give you tips, how to properly make a journal entry. Una, dapat naintindihan mo talaga kung ano nangyari sa accountable transaction. Pangalawa, dapat alam mo yung mga affected na accounts. At pangatlo, dapat familiar ka sa simple guide na to. NB stands for normal balance, DR stands for debit, CR stands for credit, A stands for asset, L stands for liability, E stands for equity, R stands for revenues, and EX stands for expenses. O pwede naman ganito para mas madaling tandaan. This is again a T account. Sa T account, left side is the debit and right side is the credit. Ulitin ko ulit. Sabi natin, normal balance ng asset at expenses ay debit. At normal balances ng liability, equity o yung tinatawag nating capital, at revenues ay credit. Teka lang, dalawa lang sa debit pero tatlo sa credit. So, para pantay, dadagdagan lang natin. Dagdagan natin ng withdrawal as abbreviated by the letter W. Teka sir, di ba ang withdrawal ay items ng equity na nagpapababa dito? Tama, pero pinapakita lang natin dito for the purpose of easy familiarization and guidance pag magjo-journalize na tayo. Later we will have examples. So again, tandaan na ang WAEX, withdrawals, asset at expenses, ang normal balance niyan ay debit. At pag ang WAEX ay naka-debit, ibig sabihin tataas. Sa kabaliktaran, kahit hindi na natin sabihin kapag ang WAEX naka-credit, ibig sabihin, bababa. Sa kabilang dako, tandaan na ang LIR, liability, equity, at revenues, ang normal balance niyan ay credit. At kapag ang LIR ay naka-credit, ibig sabihin, tataas. Sa kabaliktaran, kahit hindi na natin sabihin kapag ang LIR naka-debit, ibig sabihin, bababa. Balik lang tayo dun sa sample journal entries natin. Kung mapapansin nyo, ito yung debit na makikita mo as above of the recorded credit. Tama? So, dapat consistent tayo dyan. Lahat ng debits, both the account title and its respective amount, dapat nasa ibabaw ng credits. Now, kung mapapansin nyo, itong credit nasa baba siya, pero di siya kapantay nung debited account and amount. May indention. Nakapasok ng onte yung credited account title and yung respective amount. Tama? This is to simply identify which is which, kung ano ang debit at ano ang credit. Then yung brief explanation, ganun din. Nasa babang portion ng debit at credit. Tapos, may indention din. Nakapasok ng onte. Ito yung ilan sa typical na maling journal entry. Itong una, mali kasi kung mapapansin nyo, yung car's account title ay naka-credit. Bakit ko nasabi? Kasi nasa baba siya. At the same time, may indention nakapasok. So meaning, credit siya. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, yung respective amount niya ay naka-debit, tama? Tama naman naka-debit kasi total debit is 800,000, 50,000 at ito, 750,000. While credit total ay 800,000. So balance eh. So tama naka-debit yung 750,000. And so, dapat naka-debit din yung account title na cars. So dapat pantay sa cash account, tama? Ito naman pangalawa. Maling-mali. Una sa lahat, dapat ang unang entrada mo ay yung para sa debit. E dito lumalabas credit agad ang entry. Yung nasa taas ng portion. Which is mali. At the same time, mali talaga based sa brief explanation. Nag-purchase ng furnitures, so dapat debit furnitures ka dyan kasi nadagdagan yung furnitures mo. Same way with cash na dapat naka-credit. Ito naman, yung accounts payable dito, it should be written as credit. Pero kung mapapansin, naka-debit siya. With regards to amount, wala tayong problema. Sa account title lang. Sabi ko, dapat yung nasa upper portion ay mga debits at yung nasa lower portion ay credits. Pero dapat may indention. Hindi pwedeng debit, then credit, then debit ulit. Or vice versa. All debits first, then all credits next. With indention of course. Ito namang last ay pinantay lahat. So, di mo na alam ano ang debit at ano ang credit. Loans payable should be credited here. So, dapat nakapasok onti. Then, same way with its corresponding amount. So, ipakita ko lang ulit yung tamang journal entries. Ayan. Karagdagang impormasyon lang, class. There are two kinds of journal entry. First is simple journal entry. And second, compound journal entry. Simple journal entry is a journal entry with one debit and one credit. Sa example natin, alin dyan yung journal entries na may one debit and one credit? Tama, yung July 8 and July 11 transactions. So these are example of simple journal entry. While compound journal entry is a journal entry with two or more debits or two or more credits. Kumbaga, basta may magdalawa sa debit man or sa credit man, compound journal entry yun. O sa ibang sabi, compound journal entry yan kapag ang journal entry ay hindi isang debit at isang credit lang. Tama? Sa illustration natin, alin dyan yung examples ng compound journal entry? Correct. Yung July 1 at July 10. Now, let me add something. In reality class, meron tayong different modes of how books are being maintained by the business. Meron tayong manual, loose leaf, at computerized books of accounts. In manual, this is the handwritten way of recording accountable transactions. Usually, yung general journal, general ledgers, and other books of the business ay nabibili lang sa mga books or office supply store. Now of course, kailangan pa-register yan sa BIR. Tatatakan yan ng BIR. Patunay na yan ay official books ng business mo. Mura at mas practical sa mga maliliit lang na negosyo. Ito namang loose leaf, printed to. Compiled and book-binded. Kadalasan nire-record to through Microsoft Excel. Mas convenient kasi, di mo na kailangang isulat gamit ang kamay. Encode mo lang sa Excel, then print, tapos pa-bookbind mo. Ito namang computerized way, obviously magastos to. Kasi gumagamit ka ng accounting software. Ilan sa mga examples ng accounting software ay yung SAP, Oracle, QuickBooks, Xero, at marami pang iba. Usually these are being used by large companies kasi efficient, very convenient, and centralized. Once recorded and posted na yung mga transaction, automatic magkakaroon ka na ng reports o yung tinatawag nating financial statements upon generation sa accounting software na yun. Now, let's have example transactions. We have to prepare journal entries for this. Okay?